There's a strange kind of pain that doesn't come from being ignored. It comes from caring too much when the other person has already stopped. People think silence is the worst thing you can do to someone. They think no contact is the most powerful punishment. But a Stoic knows, the real suffering doesn't come from silence, it comes from the mind that refuses to be still. You see, silence is not the problem. Your reaction to that silence is. When someone disappears from your life, when they stop calling, stop texting, stop caring, your mind goes into chaos. You start searching for closure that will never come. You replay conversations, you read old messages, you build imaginary explanations, all in an attempt to fill the emptiness they left behind. But the more you chase, the more you bleed. Marcus Aurelius once said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this and you will find strength. This is the foundation of Stoicism, and it's exactly what most people forget after a breakup, betrayal, or rejection. You see, no contact is supposed to protect your peace. But when your heart still belongs to someone else, that peace turns into a war inside your mind. It's not their silence that hurts. It's your inability to accept that it's over. The Stoics taught that pain is natural, but suffering is optional. When someone walks away, your instinct is to ask why. You want answers. But sometimes the answer is simple. They were not meant to walk the same path with you. Their silence is not a punishment, it's a revelation. Seneca said, "What need is there to weep over parts of life? The whole of it calls for tears." Meaning, don't single out one heartbreak as the worst thing that ever happened. Life itself is filled with losses, separations, and endings. Every person you love will eventually leave you, or you'll leave them. The Stoic doesn't run from this truth. He accepts it with a calm heart. So what hurts more than silence? It's resistance. It's the desperate attempt to control what was never yours to begin with. It's the refusal to accept that some people were lessons, not destinations. You think about them at night, you scroll through memories, you want to reach out, but deep down you know you shouldn't. Because what you're chasing isn't them anymore. It's the idea of who they were. That's what truly hurts. Epictetus said, "When someone irritates you, know that it is your own opinion that has irritated you." In the same way, when someone's silence destroys your peace, it's not their silence. It's your interpretation of it. You believe their silence means you weren't enough. You believe it means they never cared. But these are just stories your ego tells to keep itself alive. To be stoic in love, or in loss, is not to feel nothing. It's to feel deeply but not be ruled by those feelings. It's to say, yes, I miss them, but I won't break my dignity for them. It's to choose inner control over outer chaos. Sometimes the person who walked away did you a favor. Because if silence hurts this much, it's showing you where your attachment truly lies. It's revealing how dependent your peace was on someone else's presence. And that's the lesson Stoicism keeps teaching. You cannot control others, but you can control your mind. You can't force them to come back. You can't make them explain. You can't make them care again. But you can reclaim your focus, your energy, your time, and your strength. You can build a life so solid that no amount of silence can shake it. Remember this, silence isn't rejection, it's redirection. It's life saying, stop waiting for them to understand you. Start understanding yourself. Every Stoic understood this truth, that detachment is not about not caring, it's about caring correctly. Caring in a way that doesn't destroy your peace. Caring with boundaries. Caring with awareness. So, when you feel that pain, that unbearable ache after being left unread, after being ghosted, after being abandoned, don't run from it. Sit with it. Ask yourself, what is this pain trying to teach me? Because the person who learns from heartbreak becomes untouchable. And that's where the power truly begins. The silence that once broke you will one day become your teacher. The emptiness you feel now will become your space for peace. And the person who left you behind will become the reason you found yourself again. Stay calm. Stay grounded. And remember, no contact is not about revenge. It's about rebirth. Most people believe they suffer because someone left. But the Stoics would tell you, you suffer because you thought you could control what was never yours. That's the root of the pain. Not the person. Not the silence. But your illusion of control. When someone walks away, your first reaction is to ask, what did I do wrong? Can I fix this? Will they ever come back? And while these questions sound innocent, they secretly tie your peace to another person's choices. But a Stoic mind knows better. It understands that love without freedom is dependency. If someone's silence has the power to break you, then your peace was never truly yours. It was borrowed. Borrowed from their attention, their words, their presence. Epictetus taught this clearly. When you desire things outside your control, you invite disturbance. But if you desire only what depends on you, you will always be free. Freedom. That's what you lost, not the person. Because when your emotions start orbiting around someone else's behavior, you are no longer living from within. You are reacting to life instead of directing it. Think about it. You didn't just lose them, you lost your balance. You lost your morning energy, your concentration, your ability to be present. You stopped living in the moment because your mind keeps rewinding the past and fast-forwarding the future. And that's exactly how the illusion traps you. The more you try to control their silence, the more their silence controls you. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this and you will find strength. But here's what most people do instead. They waste months overanalyzing words, messages, and actions. They try to decode emotions that no longer exist. They try to reopen doors that life already closed. The Stoics would call that emotional slavery, when your happiness depends on what someone else does or doesn't do. And that slavery will always hurt more than their silence. You cannot control if they text back. You cannot control if they miss you. You cannot control if they realize your value. But you can control how you respond to all of it. The first step to peace is brutal honesty with yourself. Ask, am I trying to heal or am I trying to get them back? Because both look similar, but they come from very different energies. Healing comes from acceptance. Chasing comes from ego. Your ego wants closure, validation, and justice. It wants the other person to realize what they lost. But your soul, your true self, only wants peace. And peace never comes from trying to control someone else's silence. Seneca once wrote, "No man is more unhappy than he who never faces adversity. For he is not permitted to prove himself." That silence, that rejection, that ghosting, it's your adversity. It's your test. It's your opportunity to prove to yourself that your worth is not up for debate. Every time your mind says, "I'll never find someone like them again," remember, you don't need someone like them. You need someone like you. Someone who values what you bring. Someone who stays. But before that, you must learn to stay with yourself. That's what Stoicism teaches, self-sovereignty. To be so centered in your own being that no amount of absence can unbalance you. If they left, it means life wanted to show you something. Maybe that you were giving too much. Maybe that you were ignoring your worth. Maybe that you needed to stop seeking validation from others and start building it within. The universe speaks in silence too. Sometimes when people stop talking, it's not punishment, it's protection. It's life removing distractions, illusions, and false attachments. It's life saying, enough. You've learned what you needed to learn here. Move forward. And yes, it hurts, because your heart wants what's familiar, even when what's familiar has already left. But your mind, if trained in Stoic discipline, will whisper, "This too is within the order of nature." Accept it. Acceptance doesn't mean you like it. It means you stop fighting it. Epictetus said, "Do not seek for things to happen as you wish, but wish for things to happen as they do, and you will go on well." That is the essence of inner peace, to stop wishing for a different past and start accepting the present. When you do that, something magical happens. You stop chasing closure and start creating clarity. You stop looking for answers and start building strength. You stop saying, "Why did they leave me?" and start saying, "What did this teach me?" That's how you reclaim your power. That's how you become untouchable. Remember this truth: no one can break you unless you hand them the pieces. And right now, your silence, your restraint, your discipline, that's not weakness. That's you taking back every piece of your soul that you once gave away too easily. So yes, their silence may hurt, but your self-control will heal. Your stillness will rebuild you. Your acceptance will set you free. And when you finally stop trying to control what's gone, you'll realize something profound. You never lost anything. You were just redirected back to yourself. The real war doesn't happen between two people. It happens inside one mind, your mind. And it starts the moment you stop hearing from them. You wake up and instinctively check your phone. You scroll through old chats. You replay every conversation in your head, wondering what you could have said differently, how you could have made them stay, what you could have done to prevent this silence. But deep down, you know, there's nothing left to fix. And still, you keep fighting an invisible war within yourself. Because your heart refuses to accept what your mind already knows. It's over. That's the battle the Stoics talked about, the one that doesn't need swords, only self-awareness. It's not about defeating someone else. It's about conquering your own mind. Marcus Aurelius said, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." In other words, this pain you're feeling is not an obstacle. It's your training ground. Every emotion you feel right now, anger, sadness, confusion, longing, is a teacher. Each one is revealing a truth about you. A truth you might have been avoiding when things were easy. Because when love is returned, you feel powerful. But when love is withdrawn, you face your own emptiness. And that's when the real transformation begins. You see, people think heartbreak destroys them. But heartbreak doesn't destroy you, it reveals you. It strips away every illusion you had about control, security, and identity. It shows you how fragile your peace really was. Seneca said, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste much of it." You waste it when you obsess over people who no longer choose you. You waste it when you replay pain instead of learning from it. You waste it when you believe your worth depends on how others see you. This inner battle, it's brutal. Because your heart keeps whispering, maybe they'll come back, while your mind keeps saying, move on. You feel torn between wanting closure and wanting freedom. Between holding on and letting go. Between the past and the present. And here's where Stoicism becomes more than philosophy, it becomes survival. Epictetus taught that we are disturbed not by events, but by our opinions of them. Their silence is not the problem. Your story about that silence is, you tell yourself they abandoned you. You tell yourself you weren't enough. You tell yourself they moved on easily. And every one of those stories cuts you deeper. But what if none of that is true? What if this was just life unfolding exactly as it was meant to? What if their silence wasn't rejection, but redirection? The Stoics believed everything happens according to nature's reason. They trusted that even pain has purpose. So when life takes something away, don't ask, why me? Ask, what now? The what now is where your power lies. Because while you can't control their decision, you can control what you become because of it. You can become bitter or better, closed or calm, broken or unshakable. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself daily, you could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think. That's the Stoic reminder. Life is too short to live inside mental prisons built by someone else's choices. So stop checking if they've watched your story. Stop waiting for the message that never comes. Stop tying your peace to the return of a person who already taught you the lesson. Instead, check in with yourself. Ask, what can I do today that serves my growth? You'll notice something powerful when you do this. Slowly, your mind will start quieting down. You'll start feeling lighter, not because they came back, but because you came back to yourself. That's the real victory in this battle. It's not about winning someone else. It's about winning yourself back. And winning yourself back requires discipline. You'll have to train your mind like a warrior trains his sword. When your thoughts start drifting toward the past, bring them back. When your emotions try to control your actions, breathe and observe them instead of obeying them. When your heart aches, don't numb it, understand it. The Stoics practiced what they called premeditatio malorum, the premeditation of evils. They imagined loss before it happened so they could stay grounded when it did. You don't have to imagine loss now, you're living it. But you can still use it the same way, as training for strength, for clarity, for peace. Because this pain, this storm inside you, it's not here to destroy you. It's here to cleanse you. It's here to burn away the parts of you that depend on others to feel whole. It's here to teach you that you were always enough, even when they couldn't see it. The Stoic warrior doesn't beg for peace, he creates it. He doesn't wait for closure, he gives it to himself. He doesn't fear loss, he learns from it. You are in the fire right now, but remember this, gold only becomes pure after it's melted. And you too are being refined. One day you'll look back and realize this silence that once tortured you became the reason you evolved. You'll smile, not because they came back, but because you no longer need them to. The real battle is within. And you're already winning it every time you choose discipline over desperation. Every time you choose patience over panic. Every time you choose yourself over the memory of someone who left. So keep fighting. Quietly, calmly, like a Stoic warrior who knows. Peace is not found in their return, it's found in your restraint. People often misunderstand what it means to let go. They think letting go means not caring, not feeling, not loving. But the truth is, real letting go is not the absence of love, it's the maturity of it. It's the moment when love evolves from possession to peace. The Stoics understood this deeply. They knew that every attachment, no matter how beautiful, carries a shadow, the fear of loss. And that fear is what chains the heart. You can't love freely if you're terrified of losing what you love. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, when you arise in the morning, think of what a privilege it is to be alive, to think, to enjoy, to love. He didn't say to own, to control, or to hold on to. He said, to love. Because love, in its purest form, asks for nothing in return. And that's what detachment truly means, not indifference but freedom. It means you love with an open hand, not a closed fist. It means you stop trying to hold the river and instead you let it flow. When someone you love goes silent, when they pull away, when they choose distance, your instinct is to chase, to fill the space, to bring back what's missing. But a Stoic understands, chasing what's leaving only deepens your suffering. Because love built on control isn't love, it's dependence. Epictetus said, when you kiss your child, say to yourself, tomorrow he may die. It sounds harsh, but it's not cruelty, it's clarity. It's the reminder that nothing belongs to us, not even the people we love most. We are travelers meeting other travelers on this road called life. Some walk beside us for miles, others only for moments, but all are temporary, and that's okay. You see, detachment doesn't kill emotion, it refines it. It transforms raw attachment into peaceful appreciation. It teaches you to say, I'm grateful we crossed paths, instead of, I can't live without you. When you stop trying to possess someone, you start to see them, truly see them, without the fog of expectation. And ironically, that's when love becomes purest, because it's no longer about what you get from them. It's about what you give, attention, respect, compassion, without needing a return. The pain you feel right now, that sharp emptiness in your chest, is not from losing them. It's from losing your illusion of control over them. You thought love meant ownership. You thought silence meant punishment. But both are false. Their silence doesn't mean they don't love you. It means their path diverged from yours. And that's life, not cruelty, just rhythm. A rhythm the Stoic learns to dance with instead of resist. Seneca wrote, he who is brave is free. And detachment requires bravery because it's terrifying to release something your heart still craves. It takes courage to love someone enough to let them go. To wish them peace even if their peace doesn't include you. To say, I hope you find happiness, and mean it. That's not weakness. That's strength. That's spiritual maturity. That's what Stoicism calls virtue. Because true love isn't about possession, it's about presence. It's not about making someone stay, it's about wishing them well even as they leave. When you practice detachment, you don't suppress emotion, you master it. You feel the pain, you honor it, but you don't let it dictate your worth or your behavior. You don't send desperate texts at 2 a.m. You don't break your silence just to ease your anxiety. You don't beg for closure that was never yours to receive. Instead, you breathe, you accept, you rise. You say to yourself, this hurts, but it's okay. Because your peace is no longer at the mercy of someone else's presence. The Stoics believed the goal of life was not pleasure but tranquility. And tranquility only comes when you stop resisting the flow of events. When you stop trying to make people stay who are meant to go. When you stop demanding permanence in an impermanent world. Marcus Aurelius wrote, accept whatever comes to you woven in the pattern of your destiny, for what could more aptly fit your needs? That includes their silence, their absence, their departure. It's all part of the pattern, not a mistake, not a punishment, but a design. And one day you'll see it clearly. You'll look back and realize that letting go wasn't the end of love, it was the beginning of peace. You'll realize that your worth never depended on being chosen. It depended on your ability to stay calm, composed, and compassionate, even when the world felt cold. That's what makes a Stoic unshakable. Not the absence of pain, but the mastery of it. Not a heart that never breaks, but a heart that never hardens. So stop trying to make them understand your silence. Stop hoping they'll regret their distance. Stop fighting life's rhythm. Instead, bow to it, accept it, and trust that whatever, or whoever, is meant for your path will walk it with you effortlessly, without resistance, without force. Until then, love silently, forgive quietly, detach gracefully, because sometimes the most powerful message you can send to the world is calm. And when you reach that state, when their silence no longer shakes you, you'll understand what the Stoics meant when they said, he who has conquered himself is truly free. When someone goes silent, most people feel powerless. They think the power lies in the hands of the one who walked away, the one who stopped calling, stopped replying, stopped caring. But a Stoic knows the truth. Power never leaves you unless you give it away. And right now, that's what this journey is about, reclaiming what was always yours. Your focus, your energy, your peace, your power. You see, silence only hurts when you let it define your value. When you believe that someone's absence means you're not enough. But that's not truth, that's ego. And ego always wants validation. It feeds on attention, reaction, and control. The Stoic path, however, teaches the opposite, strength through surrender. Marcus Aurelius wrote, if you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it, and this you have the power to revoke at any moment. That's the key word, revoke. You can take your power back anytime you choose. When someone ghosts you, betrays you, or ignores you, they're not holding your peace hostage. You are. Because you keep handing it to them in the form of thoughts, memories, and emotions. Every time you replay old conversations, you feed the attachment. Every time you stalk their profile, you give them space in your mind. Every time you hope for their return, you freeze your own growth. But the Stoic warrior knows when to withdraw energy. Not out of pride, but out of wisdom. Ask yourself this: why give power to someone who isn't even thinking about you? Why keep burning emotional fuel for a person who walked away from your fire? Why continue a conversation in your mind that they already ended in reality? The truth is, no one can drain you unless you keep showing up to the battlefield. And sometimes the most powerful act is not fighting, but walking away with grace. Epictetus said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." That's where your power lives, in your reaction. You can't control their silence, but you can control your discipline in responding to it. You reclaim power when you stop checking your phone for their message. You reclaim power when you stop explaining your worth in your mind. You reclaim power when you start saying, "I deserve peace more than closure." That's not arrogance, that's awareness. You're no longer reacting to life, you're responding with intention. Most people think taking power back means getting revenge or proving something. But Stoicism teaches that real power is invisibility, when nothing external can disturb your inner calm. When you reach that state, you're untouchable. Because no matter what happens outside you, you remain centered inside. Remember this: the moment you stop seeking, you start shining. Because all that desperate energy you were pouring into them, once you redirect it inward, it becomes strength, creativity, and focus. Use that silence to build yourself. Work out, read, meditate, learn. Let your pain turn into productivity. That's how the Stoics transformed suffering, by giving it purpose. Seneca once wrote, "Difficulty strengthens the mind as labor does the body." This pain you're feeling right now, this heartache, it's your mental workout. Stretching you. It's shaping you. It's forging a stronger, calmer, wiser version of you. Because the truth is, you don't grow when life is easy. You grow when you're forced to face discomfort without running from it. You grow when you stop asking, "Why me?" and start saying, "Try me." When you sit in silence and learn to be okay with it, you're reclaiming emotional control. You're teaching your nervous system that peace doesn't require anyone's approval. That you can survive without the validation you once craved. That's freedom. That's power. It's not about pretending you don't care. It's about realizing you don't need to prove that you do. You've already given enough. You've already tried enough. Now it's time to be enough. Marcus Aurelius would remind himself daily, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one." So don't waste your days proving your worth to someone who's not watching. Live it. Embody it. Become it. Every time you choose silence over reaction, you rise. Every time you choose patience over panic, you win. Every time you choose to walk away instead of begging for answers, you evolve. Because what hurts the most isn't that they left. It's realizing you had the power to heal all along, but you kept waiting for them to return it to you. The moment you stop waiting is the moment you start winning. Reclaim your mornings. Reclaim your focus. Reclaim your life. The silence that once crushed you will soon become your source of clarity. The absence that once broke you will soon become your space for growth. And when they see you again, calm, composed, radiant, they'll realize something powerful. It wasn't their silence that changed you. It was your strength within it. You took your power back. Not by fighting. Not by explaining. Not by proving. But by remembering who you are, without them. That's the Stoic victory. The quiet triumph. The unshakable peace that no one can take away again. So stand tall. Stay silent, but not broken. Detached but not cold. At peace but powerful. Because now you've reclaimed the one thing that silence could never steal. Yourself. Pain changes people. But what separates the weak from the wise is how they use that pain. Most people let it destroy them. The Stoic, the one who has learned the art of mastering the mind, turns that same pain into power. You see, when someone leaves, your world doesn't end, your old identity does. The version of you that depended on their attention, their approval, their presence, that version dies. And as painful as that death feels, it's also the start of your rebirth. Marcus Aurelius said, "Look well into yourself. There is a source of strength which will always spring up if you will always look there." That's what pain does. It forces you to look within. To stop running toward others and start returning to yourself. When you lose someone, your instinct is to fill the silence. You want to distract yourself, numb the ache, scroll endlessly, talk to anyone who listens. But the Stoic doesn't run from silence, he enters it. Because he knows silence is not empty, it's full of answers. When you sit alone with your pain and face it head-on, something magical happens. You begin to see it differently. You realize pain was never your enemy, it was your teacher. Pain says, you depended too much. Pain says, you ignored the red flags. Pain says, you forgot your worth. And instead of drowning you, that realization can lift you, if you listen with courage. Epictetus said, difficulties show what men are. And this heartbreak, this silence, this loneliness, it's showing you exactly what you're made of. It's showing you your endurance, your resilience, your ability to rise again. So, how do you turn pain into power? You redirect it. You stop letting it paralyze you and start letting it fuel you. Every time you feel anger, channel it into discipline. Every time you feel sadness, use it to deepen your understanding. Every time you miss them, use that energy to build yourself. Let the gym become your therapy. Let books become your mentors. Let stillness become your strength. Because here's the truth, pain doesn't leave you when someone returns. Pain leaves you when you outgrow the version of yourself that needed them. And the Stoic knows this. Growth always requires discomfort. You can't evolve in peace. You evolve through storms. Seneca wrote, fire tests gold, adversity tests brave men. You're being tested, not punished. Life isn't being cruel, it's being intentional. It's breaking the parts of you that were never meant to survive in your next chapter. When you start viewing pain this way, everything changes. You stop saying, why is this happening to me? And you start saying, this is happening for me. Because the truth is, every heartbreak carries hidden gifts. It forces you to face your insecurities. It makes you reevaluate your values. It pushes you to find fulfillment that isn't dependent on anyone else. The Stoics didn't avoid suffering, they studied it. They believed pain was necessary to shape character. Marcus Aurelius faced loss, betrayal, and loneliness as emperor, yet he wrote with calm wisdom. Why? Because he learned that pain only holds power over you when you resist it. So stop resisting. Stop trying to skip the process. Let the pain burn. Let it cleanse. Let it shape. Because the more you run from pain, the longer it controls you. But when you embrace it, when you say, I accept this, it loses its edge. Think of pain as the forge. The fire doesn't destroy the metal, it strengthens it. Likewise, this heartbreak is refining you, making you wiser, calmer, tougher. And one day when someone else leaves, you'll smile softly and say, I've been here before. I know how to stand alone. I know how to turn pain into power. That's the Stoic mastery, emotional alchemy. Turning what was meant to break you into what builds you. Every tear you've shed, it's not weakness. It's cleansing. Every silent night you've endured, it's not loneliness. It's preparation. Every moment you stayed calm when you wanted to react, that's strength being built quietly inside you. The Stoics lived by reason, but they also understood emotion. They didn't suppress it, they transformed it. They allowed pain to carve depth into their souls. Because without pain, there's no depth. Without loss, there's no wisdom. Without silence, there's no growth. And the beauty of this transformation is that it happens in solitude. No one sees it. No one claps for it. But when it's complete, everyone feels it. When you walk into a room after you've healed, people notice something different. They can't explain it, but they sense it, that quiet strength, that calm confidence, that peace that doesn't need to prove anything. That's the energy of someone who's turned pain into power. Marcus Aurelius wrote, the universe is change, our life is what our thoughts make it. So make your thoughts strong. Make your pain purposeful. Make your silence sacred. Because one day you'll look back and realize, this wasn't the worst thing that ever happened to you. It was the best. It was the moment you stopped being defined by who left and started being defined by who you became. So let this pain forge you. Let this silence strengthen you. Let this loss redirect you. Because one day when someone else faces the same darkness you're walking through now, you'll be their light. Not because life spared you pain, but because you learned how to use it. The Stoic doesn't avoid storms. He learns to stand still in the rain, knowing that even thunder passes, but the strength it leaves behind stays forever. There comes a moment, after all the pain, silence, reflection, and growth, when you finally see it. The truth you were meant to learn all along. It's not about no contact. It's not about who left or who noticed your silence. It's about becoming untouchable. Because when your peace no longer depends on someone else's presence, you've won a war that most people don't even know they're fighting. The Stoics called this apatheia, not apathy but emotional invulnerability. It's a state where your emotions are under your command, not your captors. You still feel love, sadness, and connection, but they no longer control your peace. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength." That's the essence of what you've been building through all this pain. Power over your mind. When you finally stop chasing closure, when you stop expecting apologies, when you stop replaying memories, something shifts. You stop being a victim of life and start becoming its student. And when that happens, pain loses its grip. It doesn't disappear, it transforms into wisdom. The moment of realization. One day you'll wake up and they'll cross your mind, but you won't feel the same ache. Not because you've forgotten, but because you've outgrown it. You'll remember the lesson, not the wound. And that's when you'll know, the silence healed you more than any conversation ever could. The Stoics believed that external losses can't harm a virtuous soul. They can take your comfort, your status, your relationships, but they can't touch your character. And this whole journey, this heartbreak, this silence, this isolation, it was never about them. It was about building that unshakable character inside you. Epictetus said, "Circumstances don't make the man, they only reveal him to himself." This situation didn't destroy you, it revealed you. It showed you the strength you didn't know you had. It showed you that your peace was never theirs to take. Freedom from attachment. You now understand what the Stoics meant by freedom. Freedom doesn't mean being alone. It means being whole, even when you are. When you detach from the need for validation, love becomes purer. You love without fear, without control, without expectation. You no longer say, "I need you to complete me." You say, "I am complete and I choose to share that with you." That's real strength. That's real freedom. Because dependency breeds fear, the fear of loss, of rejection, of being forgotten. But when you learn to stand alone, that fear disappears. You realize no one can take away what they didn't give, your peace, your worth, your self-respect. And that's when you become dangerous, not to others but to the version of you that once begged for attention. You no longer chase, you attract. Not through effort but through energy. The energy of calm, of confidence, of knowing that everything that leaves your life makes room for something stronger. Silence is power. Your silence was never meant to punish anyone. It was meant to protect you. And now it's become your power. The person who once couldn't go a day without seeking validation can now go months in peace. The one who used to explain, argue, and beg, now speaks only when it matters. That transformation doesn't happen through revenge or no-contact strategies. It happens through self-mastery. And Stoicism, at its heart, is self-mastery. It's about knowing what's within your control, your thoughts, your actions, your responses, and letting go of everything else. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself every morning, "Today I will meet people who are meddling, ungrateful, arrogant, deceitful, envious, and unsocial. Yet I cannot be harmed by them." Why? Because no one can harm a mind that governs itself. When you finally reach this level of control, people's behavior stops shaking you. Their silence doesn't bother you. Their approval doesn't thrill you. You become anchored, grounded in your own being, becoming the Stoic soul. This is the Stoic soul, calm in chaos, silent in noise, peaceful in pain. You no longer fight to be understood. You no longer need to prove anything. You simply are. You walk through the same world, but you see it differently. You respond slower. You think deeper. You speak less, but your words carry weight. You've become what life tried to destroy, unshakable. And that's what this entire journey was for. To build a version of you who doesn't collapse when someone walks away. To remind you that solitude isn't punishment, it's preparation. To show you that real peace begins the day you stop depending on someone else to provide it. Seneca said, "He who is brave is free." And you, after everything you've endured, are finally free. Free from needing closure. Free from needing to be chosen. Free from your own emotional chains. You've walked through the fire. You've faced your shadows. You've learned that silence isn't weakness, it's strength disguised in patience. And now you stand here, still, calm, reborn. The same world surrounds you, but you're no longer the same person. You're wiser. You're stronger. You're untouchable. The final reflection. The Stoics never promised a painless life. They promised a meaningful one. And meaning is born from endurance, from surviving what once broke you. You were meant to lose some people. You were meant to face silence. Because through it you found yourself. So don't regret the pain. Don't curse the loneliness. Thank it. It was the greatest teacher you'll ever have. Now your silence speaks louder than words. Your calm presence intimidates chaos. Your peace disturbs those who live off attention. You've become the embodiment of Stoicism, a living example of control, acceptance, and strength. And when someone new enters your life, you'll love differently, not from emptiness but from fullness. You won't attach, you'll connect. You won't chase, you'll flow. You won't lose yourself again because now you know yourself. This, right here, is what they can't take from you. Your awareness, your composure, your peace. You've gone beyond silence. You've gone beyond pain. You've become untouchable.